Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. Today we'll be going through a Wireshark portfolio project I've been working on, and the setting for this project is basically we work at a SOC operations center, and basically somebody has looked for a Google Authenticator website and they ended up getting infected from that website. And so here we get the LAN range of the company, the domain controller, their domain, and then a couple other informations. And what we're looking for here is the IP address of the infected client, the MAC address, the host name, the user account who accessed it from that client, and then the likely domain name of the fake Google Authenticator page, and the IP addresses of the C2 servers for this infection. So we downloaded the packet and we're looking through the packet, and the first thing we need to find is the IP address of the infected, the infected IP address. And so we know that, I've already typed this in, but we already know that the range for the company is between 10.0 and 10.255.255.255. And so we also know that we're looking for frames that probably contain something to do with a fake Google account or a fake authenticator website. So we add this filter where it's the frame either contains Google or it contains authenticator off just for short. And when we put that in, we get this, right? So we see a few websites here, right? And the ones that kind of stick out are authenticator.org, and that's about it. So as we can see, authenticator.org is probably the website that is the fake authenticator website that we got infected from. And so we look and see who accessed that, and it was 10.1.17.215. All right, and so now we know the infected IP address, and so we look for the MAC address, and that's simple because it'll be right down here. And since we know the source is 17.215, we know that the MAC address is 00D0, whatever the rest that is. So we know that's their MAC address, right? So now we're looking for the host name. And so to look for the host name, we would look for, since we know it's Intel device, we know it's probably running Windows, and we know that Windows runs through Kerberos. And so what we do here is we look for the source 10.1.17.215, come down here to the Kerberos drop down, and then we look through this, and you would see that for the host name, it would be this right here, which is desktop L8C5GSJ, and now we know that the host is this, and we look for the user account name. And so we can find that right here, which would be S. Hutchinson. And so now we know that S. Hutchinson is the guy, sadly, that ended up causing this outbreak, this infection. And so when you go back and you look at the question 5, which is what is the likely domain name for the fake authenticator page, it's probably authenticator.com because that's the only website that we know that's kind of like a typo squatting for authenticator websites, and clearly it's like the website showing the problem. And then our last question is what IP address are used for C2 servers? And so this is where I got stumped in the project, and that's because I am new to Wireshark, and from what I've learned and what I've looked up, I know to look for websites that appear around the time of access to the fake website. And so what I did here was I just scrolled down. I looked for whenever the first time we used the authenticator website was. Oh, this would be easier if I filter this out by the frame all sent through this IP address. But yeah, so then we search through these, and I'll go and I look for whenever we had used this authenticator website, which would be, it took a while to get there. Let's see. honestly, it would just be easier if I clicked on the packet. And it'd just be easier if I did that. And then, alright, so we look and we see that the times before they access the website and the times after they access the website, these are the two IP addresses that are the closest. And so what I did was I went on to virustotal.com and I looked for, and I put them both into virustotal.com just to see if they would come back clean or not. And 23.205 does come back clean, but 104.21.64 is coming back flagged as malicious. So I thought that that would be this suspicious, like the C2, like where the C2 server is coming from. But turns out I was wrong, and I looked through the answers that they have, and I really had no explanation for how they got that. But I didn't want to leave this project off my portfolio because I had done so much work to solve the other answers. But that's what I did, and I just thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.